Incredible how just 4 notes stick in your head all day long. Hey guys, my name is Pedro and today I'm going to talk to you about Mockingjay Part 1. Now, before we get into the review, I just want to say one thing. I watched The Hunger Games. I watched it a couple of months after it was released on TV, and I did not like it. I did not like the film because I thought it was really similar to another film that I really enjoyed, which was Battle Royale. And even though I didn't want to get the two mixed up, the fact of the matter is I thought Hunger Games was like Battle Royale, but without the elements that made Battle Royale so special. Because in Battle Royale, everybody that dies is meaningful. You feel their loss. In their Hunger Games, not so much. It felt a bit like a schoolyard when they were in their Hunger Games, and there were bullies, and they were bullying each other, and basically people were dying, and that was not a big deal. Now, I know there was a stronger message in the Hunger Games. I know there was a stronger point that was supposed to come across, but I only felt that it was done properly with Catching Fire. And when I watched Catching Fire, I really liked it. I thought it was really good. Every element that was not in the Hunger Games that I thought it was important to be there, it was in Catching Fire. And that's when you come to Mockingjay. So did I like it? Did I not? I know many people who didn't. I know some people who did. So that's saying a lot. Many people prefer Catching Fire to this film, and many people say that the Mockingjay book was the worst out of all three. So it was even more stupid to break the book into 2 parts, being a trend done with Harry Potter and the Twilight films. But I haven't read the books. I have no idea what happened. So what is my opinion on Mockingjay Part 1? I loved it. I think it's the best movie out of all 3. Why? For the same reasons many of you did not like Mockingjay. And the reason is it doesn't have that many action sequences. You really get to dive into the characters, especially Katniss's, and it's all about Katniss versus Peter. Yes, Peter was captured by the Capitol, and he talks a lot during interviews that is shown all over the world, and he's basically asking Katniss to stop the rebellion. And that's mainly what this movie is about. It's a rebellion. It's the start of a rebellion. And Katniss is being, in a way, pressured, but at the same time she wants to be the face of the rebellion so she can stop the Capitol at all costs. But at the same time, she doesn't want to be a part of it because she knows it's going to be a bad thing. She doesn't want a war. She just wants peace and everybody to live harmoniously together. As you saw her in the other film, she didn't want to start a war, but in this film she has kind of no choice. She really is angry about what the Capitol is doing. Every person that Katniss comes across is kind of dealt with in the most horrible way by the Capitol. She goes into in one scene, and then the worst unimaginable thing happens, and that is really a big deal. It really makes you suffer. You're really torn apart. You really feel for Katniss because she is breaking apart slowly. Now, this war that is starting is not a full-out war. It's more like a cold war. It's an attack here, an attack there. So she is with District 13 that, even though it was wiped out on the surface, people are still living underground and trying to overcome the Capitol. And that is a really interesting part of the story. It's in these situations that people who are afraid, people who are scared, that have no choice but to be in that place, to be safe, because District 12 was wiped out. Many of the districts are being wiped out by the Capitol. Any relation with Katniss whatsoever is basically a threat to the Capitol, and so President Snow will do everything in his power to wipe out anything and anyone. Seriously, anything and anyone. It's not one of those bad guys that, oh, we'll let them live but make them suffer in a way. No, President Snow kills them, makes them suffer by killing them, and makes Katniss suffer by killing them. And it's basically what a war is. President Snow just wants to shatter these people really bad so he can control things, and he knows that the thing that people are most afraid of is dying, and dying is a huge deal in this movie as opposed to the Hunger Games, but whatever. And that's what I loved about this film. And the thing that matters most about Katniss is Peter and her mother and her sister, of course, but mostly Peter, and that's incredible. I love that part of the film. And the thing is, Peter is saying all of the things that would make Katniss not want to save him, but she knows in her heart that he is still a good person and that he can be saved. You see her face shake. It's so tense, this film. It really is really tense. The end scene of the film is amazing. I love the way that the film ends. It had to end there. It makes sense. It shows what a war can do to people and transform a person. It's really incredible how a franchise that is a young adult franchise made basically for teenagers has become so mature, really mature. You see skeletons in this film. Skeletons. People who are dead, who've been dead for quite a while. You see skeletons. And you see Katniss's face looking at those skeletons and tearing up. That is awesome. I love that. And the reason why I love that is because it's a franchise movie, it's a mainstream movie, it's a commercial movie that isn't afraid to risk, that isn't afraid to show the deepest and darkest fears of people and the deepest and darkest things of a war. This is what happens. War isn't entertainment. It's not an hour-long battle as you have in Avatar, which is so awesome because of all the CGI and all the stuff that's going on, or the Transformers. No, I don't care about that. I care about what matters most, and it is the characters that you like the most survive, and this is a survival movie. It could have even been a low-budget sci-fi movie because it takes place in like 2 or 3 locations and very little action is going on, but a lot of tension is there, a lot of character development is there. Katniss really is put on a pedestal, and she doesn't know what to do when she is on that pedestal because she has her feelings coming to the surface. When you have a cold war going on, you have these little attacks that happen from time to time. It tears people apart piece by piece, slowly, and you really do feel that in this film. And you feel that not only with Katniss but with Gale, who wants to be with Katniss but he knows that Katniss is in love with Peter, and that is also heartbreaking. You also have the propaganda part of the film, which is so incredible. Katniss is being true to herself. She's showing that she hates the Capitol, but it is shown in a way to make the people in the rebellion rebel against the Capitol. So in a way, it's not exactly what she wants. Yes, she wants the Capitol to end and to be overthrown, but she is not really comfortable seeing herself being true to herself used as a weapon for the rebellion. She doesn't say it at any point in the movie, but you can look at her face. There are moments where the footage of her being true to herself is shown and she cannot look at it because she doesn't like the way that it's being used. You can tell it, you can feel it, and that is also really cool. It's not good versus bad. Of course, the people who are part of the rebellion are the good side and the people who are in the Capitol are the bad side, and even though that you feel more for the rebellion, you still feel that this war shouldn't be going on. So when Peter talks, when Peter says those things, even though that it's not the thing that he should be saying because it's putting him against the rebellion, at the same time, it is true. A war shouldn't be going on. Things should be settled in a different way. But unfortunately, there is no way to settle this thing unless it's through war. And that is the heartbreaking ordeal that is happening in Mockingjay Part 1. I'm looking forward to Mockingjay Part 2. It's going to be an epic battle conclusion, I'm betting. I haven't read the book, so I don't know exactly what's going to happen. But because Mockingjay Part 1 was so mature and really dived into the nature of the characters and the subject of the rebellion against the Capitol that is so present with little action going on. You're with Katniss, you see her reactions, and she does not like what's going on. She wants this to end, but she has to be the face of the rebellion, and she has to deal with that fact, and she doesn't want to, but she has to, and she wants to end the Capitol, but she doesn't know what to do. And then she wants to save Peter, but Peter is being not the person that she wants him to be when he's doing the interviews, and that is an ordeal. So there's so many things going on in this film, so many emotions that are going on. Even if there's like just 2 action sequences at best, there's so much going on in terms of emotional drive, emotional character development. It's done so well. Still, the camera work could have been done better. The shaky cam comes back as it did in the Hunger Games, and I do not like that. It's not as bad, but it's still there, and I think the camera work in this film should have been really amazing, like Martin Scorsese amazing, like Quentin Tarantino amazing, even Christopher Nolan amazing. But this is just my opinion. It could have been better, the camera work, I feel, but it's still a great movie. So giving a rating, I would have to give a 4 out of 5 stars. So I hope you enjoyed my review. Do not forget to subscribe. You can check out my Facebook link, my Twitter, and my blog below, and do not forget to give your opinions. What did you think of the film? If you did not like the film, explain. Is it because you prefer an epic conclusion than the groundedness that the film has? If that's so, explain. I'm really interested in hearing your opinions. And remember, these are my personal opinions.